I usually will say that judgment or assessment of the government is more with the people, unlike the previous government that would come and give itself. Usually, I think they were giving themselves 84%. Unlike that, we feel that the people are the best judges. What we can do will be to tell our story. We are telling our story not because the people at the grassroots do not know, but for instance, the road being constructed between Tema through Ho to Aflao. If you have somebody in Tamale, how will the person know that a big push road is happening there? How will somebody know that the Volleyball Bridge will be done in Bato, North Tong district? How will somebody know that the bridge at Pasa, Dambai, would also going to be done? And so that is why we tell our story. And so to rate my government, I believe we are doing highly well. I'll be short of giving ourselves percentages, but the verdict is there. The rate of the dollar against the CD, we see what it is now. It's hovering around 10. The inflation rate, like we were told yesterday, is around 3.3, coming down from 3.8. And all the macroeconomic factors, we can see them. Petrol prices are down, all those factors are down. Fortunately, price of gold is up, and it is good news for us. Unfortunately, the price of cocoa is down, and that is the only problem. But it's not a problem for the government. It's a problem because the cost of the cocoa in the international market is down. We don't use much of our cocoa in Ghana in turning into or adding value to it. And so that is one good thing the president has spoken about, that once the world price market of cocoa is coming down, it is better for us to find ways of using our locally produced cocoa to add value to it. And that is the most sensible thing any government can do, not going to borrow money and come and top up and pay farmers, and that debt will still be on our books, and you keep struggling around it. That was the callousness we saw in the previous government that resulted in the DDEPs and all the things we saw in the past. That even pensioners cannot go take their monies that they lodge with government in terms of treasury bills, they cannot get returns on it. We are a prudent government. We don't want to be callous. We don't want to be reckless in our borrowing and our way of doing things. So we do everything according to what is available for us to use, the tools available, so that we don't plunge ourselves into further debt. And so for me, I think so far Mahama, his comeback has showed to us that experience is really the best teacher. Yes.
The dollar has come down, inflation has also come in, still moving from 3 point, coming down to 3.3. But people are saying they are not seeing or they are not feeling it in their pocket. That's what your colleagues from the
No,
opposition are
as
saying.
for you don't expect them to say the truth, but like I say, Ghanaians who are on the ground know what it is. Is it true that the cost of sugar has reduced from 900 to 400? It is true. Is it true that the cost of fried has reduced from 1,002 to 550? It is true. Is it true that the cost of rice has come down? So anything that is tagged to the dollar definitely will come down. It is our local things that we sell that is not dollarized. Those ones will not be affected by the decrease in the rate of the dollar. So we should not be expecting that everything will come down. And we always have naysayers. We always have people who want to see the bad side of government. So they will intentionally not reduce the prices in the market to make government feel bad. That will not be the doing of government, except, of course, we want to go back to the days of Kalabuli, where Rawlings will go to the market and begin to beat people to reduce prices, which I'm not sure is the way we want to go. So government's role is to make the environment very conducive for fair play. So if we do our bit and the citizens who are supposedly complaining are not doing their bit, what can we do as government? And so for me, well, the most important is that government is doing its bit. We should also respond by reducing our prices to match what is happening generally. And so I will not blame government for that. We can only appeal to people that if you hurt your colleague, he will also hurt you in another way. So it is better that once prices are going down, we drive them down so that we can all enjoy out of it. Food inflation is one of the things we experienced in the past. It was so bad. And the stability of any economy. And you see, hunger is a national security issue. So if you have food in the market that you can buy at a lower cost, is it not good for us? It is good, even though it may be bad for the farmer who maybe plowed at 500, bought fertilizer at 450, and bought seed so high, and now the prices have gone down. The farmer will definitely be affected. But I believe over time they will catch up, break even, and then make their profit. Once we drive down those inputs, cost of fertilizer is now down, fuel is down, so we expect that plowing cost should also go down. Seeds, the cost of seeds will go down because most of them were imported seeds. So once the dollar is gone down, the cost of seed will also go down. Once that happens, then the next season, I'm sure farmers can get the worth out of the products they are going to produce from farming. So in the immediate term, yes, I agree that farmers may be feeling the pinch, but over a time, I'm sure it will be good. Mind you, the coming down of the dollar is not in the interest of those who export. You get it? So if you export and you get $1,000, the value of $1,000 then may be 1,700 or 17,000 cedis. But now the value of your $1,000 will now be just 10,000 cedis. So of course, those people will be affected negatively. But what do we want as Ghanaians? Do we trade in dollars? Majority of us trade in cedis. So once the cedi appreciates highly against the dollar, it will be good for over 95% of Ghanaians. And so that is what we are looking at. Of course, the 5% may suffer a little bit, but at the long run, who all will catch up?
So, Honorable, if you have, can you elaborate the reason why currently utility bills are paying so high?
Yeah, sure. It will be PURC that is supposed to regulate these things. And before tariffs are increased, it is always in consultation with PURC. They should agree. And I said earlier on that even though dollar has come down, it's not everything that is dollarized. Most of our issues are localized. And so for utility bills, especially electricity, the situation that was left behind for NDC was very precarious. And you remember at the beginning of the year, we were saying that if nothing rational is done outside the box, we're going to be plunged into doomsday again. And so to forestall us going back to doomsday, which is a very bad experience Ghanaians don't ever want to have, we'll have to allow the system to flow. And so we need to buy a lot of fuel for the fuel plant, and those other IPPs, independent power producers, would also have to produce. And there was a lot of debt that we have to clear. So for you to clear and to break even and to be able to pay those who are giving you power now. Remember, some of the IPPs had to shut down. Asogli had to shut down, and some few plants had to shut down. It is because government owes them so much money. If we want to continue at the pace we left it, then it means that we'll continue to have most of them falling out of business. And that is going to affect us, and we plan to do so. So this is an immediate measure to ensure that we don't plunge the country back into doom so. And so let's break even. I'm sure that once things stabilize, prices will come down
And
again.
minority are complaining, saying that on paper you said it's 30%, but on realities on the ground it's about 100% increase.
No, I hear that there are some few challenges with some of the meterings, and so ECG has itself launched a committee to investigate the reason why some of this is happening. I hear some new meters were installed, and some of them are faulty. Hence, it is producing some of this. I'm sure that once they go to investigate this and they come out, their monies will be refunded to them as said by the Energy Ministry. So yes, there may be some few instances that some of the meters are overrunning their costs. So they will be brought back to the normal pace and we'll all be good to go.
So, Honorable, US, Israel, and Iran's war, do you think it will have any effect on Africa and Ghana at large?
Yeah, sure. Anything that happens in any corner of the world will affect the other aspect. Once you are not an island on your own, we say that the world is a global village. And so somebody in Iran may be importing cocoa from Ghana. We in Ghana may be importing oil from Iraq, Kuwait, Qatar, and all the Arab countries. And so even though we have oil in Ghana, we are not self-sufficient when it comes to the issue of oil. We still import. And the Arabs are well noted for oil and its other associated products. And so uh, our people in the past used the Russia-Ukraine war to be the cause of all our woes. We are not going to use that, but they say if your colleague's beer is on fire, you better fetch water and put by your side. And so we are taking notice of whatever is happening in Israel, America, Iran, and it's affecting other UAE countries. We had to, at the mercies of the foreign minister, evacuate the former vice president and the wife back to Ghana safely. And so there are a lot of things that will affect us on humanitarian grounds and also on the economic front. And so we cannot say we will not be affected. We will be affected heavily, especially if it prolongs. The Strait of Bermuda, if it's closed, it means a lot of tankers carrying oil cannot pass there. And China will be affected. All other countries that depend heavily on oil importation through that strait will also be affected. And Ghana cannot be left out. Africa cannot be left out because we all depend heavily on the importation of oil. So we will definitely be affected.
So should Ghanaians be looking at increase in fuel prices?
It is not for me to say. You see, these things, there are a lot of things that affect uh, products that we get from outside the country, the rate of the dollar, the world market price, and all those other things affect it. And in basic economics, we have something called demand and supply. The less the demand, the more the demand, the less the supply, and then the cost of it. So if those who are producing the oil do not have the peace of mind to produce, and those who transport have been blocked from transporting, and we can't have enough of it, of course we will have less in the country, and once you have less, prices will definitely go up. But I'm not predicting that in the nearest immediate terms would have increased in prices of fuel. But I'm only giving the economics of it, that is likely to be what may happen depending on how long it prolongs. I hear they are supposed to be meeting today, is it in Switzerland or so, to have some to broker some peace. If that happens and by tomorrow there's ceasefire, why not? We will return to normal. But if it prolongs beyond the expected time, it will. But I'm assured by boss that we have enough oil to last, I think, about 3 months thereabout or so. So at least we'll be able to sort ourselves out within the immediate times.
A bulldozer, a bull, and a do, referring to a dozer, referring to President John Dramani Mahama as the bull, and then the road minister as the dozer. Honorable, can you elaborate?
I think it's self-explanatory. A bull, in the normal sense we know, is a strong animal that works without getting tired easily. And so I was likening John Dramani Mahama as a bull because what he's doing within the shortest time of 1 year and a little over is likened to that of a bull. He's everywhere every day. He's not tired. You see him here, the next day you see him there. His ministers are always around him, thinking through how to make Ghana better. And Agoja is one of the ministers that is very, very hardworking. You go to the office as early as 6 a.m., he's there. Sometimes as late as 9, he's there. And he comes to Parliament regularly. He's one of, I think, the most busiest minister usually on the floor of Parliament because we all have issues of our roads and would always want to put these questions to him. He's always available to answer our questions. He's, if not the most hardworking minister, maybe 1, 2, 3, he may be amongst them. And so I offer my heart to him. He's doing so well. And so I liken him to a dozer. And when they talk about a dozer is that strong machine always on the field, mashing the earth and turning into something good. You always destroy the negative things on the land before the grader comes to smoothing it. So I liken Abuja to a dozer. And so, like I said yesterday, the whole country has been turned into a construction site. You are driving on the motorway, construction. You are driving on the whole road, construction. You are driving on the Kumasi road. We are now coming to do an expressway. On the Winneba Kaswa road, there's something happening. Aguna road, there's something happening. Within Kumasi, the Swame interchange will also be done. And so everywhere you go, there's one road or other going on. In my own constituency, I have the Gonu road that has been lying there for over 20 years, now being worked on. It's going to be tarred. I have my Gaba Pedume road, one of the very important roads in my constituency, has been shaped now, it's been leveled, it's waiting for the second phase of the tarring. There's a road from Dabla Junction to Avedo, which is also being worked on. And so the main Aflao road is also being done. In the previous government, they just left side and we were put into a lot of traffic on that road. But now you realize that we have a lot of respite. And so everywhere there's construction, in the districts, in the constituencies, a lot of money has been sent to the district assemblies with very strict measures. You have to build chiefs compounds, you have to build classrooms, you have to build a number of toilets. And so things are happening in every constituency. At least get far projects all over everywhere. And so for me, that is why I was likening the whole country to a construction site, and Mahama being a bull, Abuja being a dozer, and we have bulldozers everywhere.
Hello, thank you very